You are welcome to today's episode of Formula for Everyday with the Formula Law.
Hi, welcome to Formula for Everyday podcast. I am your host, Lawrence Nkwacha, the Formula Law. So today we're going to continue on the book review we started for a while now, Be Obsessed or Be Average, a book written by American billionaire Grant Cardone. So Grant Cardone has been able to explain some useful direction of obsession in a person's life to be able to achieve business and career goals. So we're going to be looking at chapter 8, which has the theme Obsessed with Sales. Now, if you don't grow your revenue as a business or as a person, you will have no business doing a business. So I quote directly from the book: sales affects every single thing you do. Whatever it is you're running, you should know that sales is the end goal and the end objective. So irrespective of you having a sales department in your company or in your business, you also need to be a very perfect salesman. For a while now, I also read this book by Napoleon Hill, Sell Your Way Through Life. It just tries to point out the necessity of sales in every single person's life, because you need to be able to exchange value for whatever it is that you provide for people or for your environment. So business dies because it is unable to sell products in quantities large enough and prices high enough in order to be able to sustain the daily operations. Now, if you're running a business, you should know that business survives on operations. So you have an organogram of how your business goes, be it your personal brand or your business brand. There is always money being spent daily. So if you don't sell products in quantities large enough and at prices high enough, the business tends to die because it cannot be able to sustain the profit margin. That's when you calculate the expenses from the income. So you need to be able to learn how to scale your sales as well as put the optimum pricing in order to for you to be able to gain per unit. You need to make very good profit per unit. So sales is the lifeblood of any business. Business does not depend on just your production or manufacturing. Even if you're an expert at production and manufacturing, as I said earlier on, and you get other people to do your sales, it's also very important for you to have a very good knowledge of sales, because the entire business depends on sales. No matter how good your product or your service is, if you cannot find the final consumer that is willing to give money in order for him to use your service or buy your product, then whatever service or business or product you're selling is totally useless, because it will not be able to reach the final consumer, and by so doing you will not be able to make the required sales. So the most important part of your financial statement is your revenue line. So how much are you able to profit on your business daily or weekly or monthly or yearly? That's the most important part of your financial statement. The viability of any person or organization is in the amount of sales that they are able to make. Okay, so he asked this question: do you own your product? Do you believe in your own product? Because making sales goes far beyond just going up to customers to convince them to buy from you. You have to understand your product. You actually have to understand the value of your products, because before you make any sales, you must be able to communicate value effectively.
You are still listening to Formula for Everyday with the Formula Law. Stay tuned.
You must be able to make the other person to see the reason why your product costs at the amount that you placed for its cost price. So you need to be able to communicate the value so effectively that the other person is able to actually see sense in what you are saying about your product. So all the way is the only way to be able to close. So you need to go all in. You need to give in your best after you must have studied your product, after you must have believed that your product actually cost the price at which you placed on it. So always show your customers what it takes to buy. Always show your customers that this is what your product cost, you need to be able to communicate the value in such a way that they will see exactly why they are paying the amount that they are paying for your products. Okay, some people are scared of being rejected. That's why they lose sales. So you don't have to be scared. The fact is that you statistically it's projected that you tend to convert 10% of an audience that you speak to. So depending on the numbers you have, the larger the numbers, the better for you. So you need to be able to reach out to as many people as possible. You need to step up your marketing game. Marketing is something I realize that is a very important part of sales, in as much as sales is the holy grail, but marketing too is very important. But you must always remember that it's not a popularity contest. What you are going for is sales. So your marketing should always be targeted at making sales. So don't ever lower your targets, increase your activity. Don't lower your targets when you find out that things are not going as perfect as you have forecasted. Don't lower your target, but always try to increase your activity. Nobody can make remarkable progress without micro management. So you need to manage your team. You need to understand that whatever it is that your company is going to turn out to be, whatever it is your business is going to turn out to be, is going to be on the individual performance of every member of your team. So you need to always manage your team very effectively. Don't ease off on your sales effort, whether you are doing great or badly. So the usual temptation with doing very good in sales is that you now tend to become very relaxed and you become complacent in making sales. But don't ease off on your sales performance, irrespective of how well or badly that you are doing. So quantify your success. Numbers don't lie, but people do. Now, this is the punchline that actually really got me. Like, you always need to quantify your success. Always measure whatever it is that you are doing. Are you actually making progress, or you are not making progress? So you need to always quantify your success. You need to always look at the numbers. The numbers are a very important part of your business progression. So your livelihood is dependent on results. Get obsessed with results. Have a sales meeting daily. So as much as possible, always try to meet up with your team daily. Have a sales meeting to discuss on new strategies that you could actually get your products or your service to the end consumer. So how much time you spend in your meeting is not as important as having the meeting. So that daily meeting with your team, always reminding them of the core vision of making sales, is more important than how much time you get to spend in the meeting. So whatever it is you're doing, you need to always ensure that you carry your team along so that they have a full and clear picture of what it means to make the sale. So with this, I've come to the end of today's edition of Formula for Everyday podcast, where we reviewed the book Be Obsessed or Be Average by Cardone. We reviewed chapter 8, Obsessed with Sales. So until I come your way again, I remain your host, Lawrence Unkwacha. This is Formula for Everyday podcast. Bye for now.
This podcast holds every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thank you for listening to today's Roadside. Hope you learned something new. I would like you to join in on the next episode.